Indianapolis Roval Season 2, Race 8. Tonight in the booth, I have with me Jade Bo, the driver of the 53 car, and Jordy, the 39, and then Bars, the driver of the 48 car. Tonight we were racing at the Indy Roval, as I said before. And I want to start off talking about this track, because it's one of the most interesting ones on the schedule. First Geo on the schedule. And it can be difficult. It can be very challenging. We have Tone 1, a high speed, have to get downshift all the way down to first gear, even second if you can make it work. Then you have a nice little small straightaway. You get around those tight corners, and then you have a nice little short shoot straightaway in the backstretch. And then you come back onto the NASCAR turns 3 and 4, get out in the middle of 3 and 4, and that's where you get to one of your tightest turns, and then you have a wide arcing back to the start-finish line.
Yeah, except I mean, this track here we don't know much about. It's a new track. It's something new that just popped in. There's a lot of things because I was in the Xfinity race last night with the guys and for that race, and I'm telling you right now, it's a risk to reward kind of deal when it comes to the chicane, when it comes to anything, when you're getting side by side, and this game seems to love to call you penalties if you touch the grass, or even 1 minute it may give it to you, the next minute they may not. So that's something that's going to be definitely kept a big eye out, buddy. What do you think?
Yeah, speaking of that, I was in the race last night. This track did give a lot of guys difficulties with the penalties because it was very touchy in some areas where you couldn't get. They give you the benefit of the doubt, but other times they don't really give it to you. So you can really, there's a lot of workarounds, but it was a great race last night, and we're hoping to see another one tonight. So let's start with the questions, because I'm actually really excited to get to see
definitely
what we got going on here. We have the.
Can I go first, real fast, after what we just saw in the chat there from Jardy? Okay, so Jardy, the incident with Tony, walk us through that. Walk us through that real fast.
That's a really good question. He claims he got into the brakes a little late, and I apparently turned over to try to block him, which I didn't. The car was turning left, or was pulling to the left under braking. I think he's blind as a bat because I don't think he was going to make that corner if he didn't hit me. So, don't think he did it intentional, but with the way he got into the corner, I'm not going to wreck him. I'm definitely not going to let him win the race if I'm sitting second behind him.
As Dale Sr. said, he's just going to rattle his cage.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I'm going to add that. I don't want to hear that.
Alright, that's all I had for tonight, boys.
I definitely don't want to hear that.
That brings me to a good point too. That's what Jolly just brought up. Is this track, when you get on the brakes, it does, in a lot of the corners, it does like to give you a lot of that left-hand pull. Like, after you get down that short shoot back straightaway, that corner really does like to pull you on those brakes. So that could be another difficult and challenging point where you have to.
A lot of the corners were doing the same thing.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of bend but don't break type of things as well. People are gonna have to put stuff in there at their own risk.
So now we got that out of the way. Actually, I think we'll touch base. We'll touch base with the driver of the 48, Boss. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys up in the booth doing?
Very good. What do you think, man? After seeing last night's action, calling the shots. I mean, you and Jade were in the booth last night. I mean, so what do you expect for tonight?
The same kind of race, and very competitive and very close. I don't see, unless you have a picture perfect race, you'll be pulling away from the field. But if it comes down to penalties and consistency.
All right. No, I agree 100%, buddy. I mean, you almost have to be more conservative here because of the way this track calls its penalties and how it hits you up sometimes when you least expect it. You almost want to consider being a little more conservative going into your corners, because it doesn't. I've seen it just barely touch the grass. I've seen it being all the way in the grass after you spun out, call your penalty. I've seen so many different varieties of this. It's going to take a little bit of finesse to get around here. That's for sure.
Yes. And
So what do you think
the
about your car? You ready though? What are you thinking about your car setup?
I'm ready. The setup I have, I've been working on it pretty much all day, all afternoon. I'm ready for the race. I'm excited.
Just to cover that basis, folks, those that are listening, tonight this is a totally different dynamic. It is a custom setup. First time in this league that they've done something like this, especially on a road course. So these guys have got, done some practice and got themselves tuned in, changed their cars around. It does. I agree when that decision was made. To the fact being is that it does help your car handle a lot better. Trying to drive it than it would on a preset.
Better.
I agree with that 100%. All right, boss. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you out there, buddy. We know that I know that you've there's been some rough luck here and there, off and on, throughout the season. I know that your skill level is definitely not definitely what your finish level has been. That's for sure. So
Yes.
Good luck tonight, buddy. You can do it, man. I've been with you before, and I've been part of your driving, watching you drive before, and I believe that you can. You get a good finish is a good start. That's how I look at it.
Well, thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, buddy. So next, we will talk with Jade Burr, the driver of the 53, Rich Marsh Flores. He's top half the points, top 5, I believe now at this point. I don't have the sheet in front of me. Sorry about that, guys. But Jade, how you doing, buddy? And another week.
Well, like you said, it's another week. It's another week we get to try to put this 53 back in victory lane. This season it's been very rocky at best at times. We've acquired a lot of stage points throughout the season. Definitely why we're sitting 5th overall with no wins yet, no playoff points. We got 3 weeks after tonight. We have the Indy Roval right now. Then a little bit later on we go back to the Oval. So 2 more times to try to kiss the bricks for guys, and it's going to be a hard night, but this 53 is ready to go. I think the fastest lap I've ran on this setup was a 1:21.4, which I was flying that lap. I want to shout out to my buddy James Morris for helping me build this setup. I'm real grateful to him. I got the chance to work with him over the weekend, and then a little bit earlier, put the final tweaks on it, and we're ready to go, man. We are ready to go.
Oh, I'm excited. You know that as well. I'm always excited to see that 53 on the track, and especially with you behind the wheel. You've done a great job. It's no different than me on the other end in the Xfinity Series, driving for the same sponsors. That we've had a rocky start. But if we buckle down, you know that you're pretty secure headed for the playoffs. That's just that win is evading us. Evading you and evading all except for our teammates. Which actually you have one of my teammates driving for you tonight in the 51 of U.S. Trek Enterprises, Goose. I'm looking excited. He had a great race last night, so that's going to definitely help you out in the long run. That's for sure for team wise.
I do agree with that 110%. It's very weird going from sitting in the booth last night and watching these guys, and I'm pretty sure they shaved a few years off my life because I didn't know what to say as they were all getting closer together there at the end. And now that I get the chance to go out, last season we had 2 phenomenal races here with great race last night. I hope it's going to be another one. If this is what the custom setups are going to bring to the road courses, then I think this is going to be a rule that sticks around and stays.
Oh, I agree with you 100%, buddy, on that one. I'm definitely right behind you. I'll be pushing with you as we move forward with that's for sure, because of I believe that both of us are in agreement that the custom setups when it comes to a road course is definitely a way to go. The ovals and stuff like that, it takes a little more skill to drive the set, drive the presets, but on a road course, if you don't have that custom, the setups that they have us, who knows what the next game's going to bring. Is definitely it helps that car a little bit more. You can drive the car a lot better. So next we'll move on to. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Speaking of the whole setups like road courses, I think that's a very interesting thing because I feel like there's a lot of the road courses are tracks that you really need to bring in the aspect of that. But then there's the road course like Watkins Glen, where it's like You put in that custom setup at a Watkins Glen, and that thing is it's just faster. It drives better and it's faster, but Watkins Glen drives fine either way, and it's one of those tracks that I really love on the schedule, and we'll get to that later in the year. But for tonight, we have Indy, and it's going to be interesting because the custom sub does help out a lot here.
Yep, definitely. And then we have one more. Two more.
Yeah.
Oh no, Mercer's good.
We have the 39
Rogers.
of Jody.
Oh yeah, Jordy's. Yeah. No, actually, yeah. We'll talk with Jody real quick. I'm sorry about this. I just want to touch base with Steve Rogers. Hey, Steve, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Doing good.
Good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, Steve. I mean, we know that you're feeling under the weather there a little bit, and a lot of us were concerned. And this here, folks, is Steve Rogers from Rogers Racing Engines. He is actually the sponsor of this Cup Series for Worldwide Racing League. So what do you think, Steve? What do you think you're going to see? I don't know if you got any chance to see anything from last night, but what do you think you're going to see tonight?
I did. I watched the race last night. Great race. I think the winner's going to be the guy that can keep on course and avoid them penalties. Man, them penalties will just kill your race. So,
and then this game is
we'll
so
see.
unpredictable. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
This game is very unpredictable when it comes to course penalties, that's for sure. But thank you, Steve, very much for what you do for this league. We appreciate you. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're feeling better.
You know what?
So definitely.
We should get some
Welcome.
picks in real fast. Let's see who everybody thinks will win tonight.
Oh yeah, we will. Let me just. I was going to do that last. I just wanted to touch on one more person, which was
Let's
Jardy
touch
the
base.
39.
Yeah.
That was my next guess. I didn't forget him. I never could. Hey, Jardy, you still there, buddy?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, bud. So now you got that off your chest, kind of. What do you think about tonight?
I think it's going to be a good race.
Yeah, your car ready? I mean, it's a different dynamic. I'm not sure if you're ever familiar with setups like this, but
there's a lot of people that can contend for the win tonight, and as long as they can keep their nose clean and not get damaged or anything, and not have somebody try to be a hero on the first lap, first corner, it should be a good race. I think it's gonna be fun.
I have a very interesting question for you, Jada. So last night's race was a nice little 50% race, and you had 39 laps in an Xfinity car. Do you think you could translate anything over from that 39 laps in the Xfinity car to only 16 laps tonight in the Cup car?
The line that I'm going to be running is similar. Braking zone's pretty similar. Had a good setup last night. I feel like I have a good setup tonight. So it's like I said, I think it's going to be a fun race.
Okay.
no, I definitely, it definitely will be an adventure. It says it's the first road course of the season for us for Xfinity and Cup Series. It's a new dynamic with the custom setups. It is the first time ever doing it. It's going to take, people, what are you willing to risk? I mean, you can risk that little bit of touching or a little bit of off course, sometimes, which does happen, especially when you get this course is not very wide, folks. I mean, you get side by side, it's easy enough to have somebody come, even they may not touch, but just, a little bit of, any type of movement, and you just can't fit, and then you hit that course, next, that this game will throw you out of course caution, and then next, you're running from behind. It's going to see how well these guys adapt to that kind of, after watching last night, whoever was there last night, these guys are going to do a great job. You're just going to have to, it's going to be just like the first couple of laps, you're just going to have to get settled in, run your lines, and do the best you can, and then go from there as the race moves on.
I want to say one thing before we leave, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm going to toot it anyway.
Oh, here we go. No, I'm kidding, buddy.
I'm the only car that did not get a penalty in both races last season. I hope to keep that a trend this season.
Now, you should have known something, buddy. Jade, you should have never said a word.
I hope you got some wood to knock on, because you're going to need it right now.
Yeah,
Listen.
you should have just zipped it.
I'm knocking right now.
You better knock your good old life away right there on that wood, because
I hope you got a wooden beam in your house to be knocking, because I don't think a 2x4 knock's gonna work.
I'm knocking on the wooden desk beside me, the wooden desk my PlayStation's sitting on. I'm ready to go, man. I'm
Yeah,
pumped,
folks.
man.
Well, then,
These guys
let's
are
get-
ready. I mean,
Let's get some
buddy.
qualifying action.
yep, let's ready. Yep, folks. We thank you very much for tuning in to the pre-race for these guys. Thank you, Jade, Jardy, Steve. He's here. Boz, myself, Acceptance, Mercy. Thank you. Mercy's actually going to be joining me in Acceptance in the booth tonight. So that's a great. That's great to have a three-party team because of it makes it so much interesting when it comes to conversation. That's for sure because people have different this that and views. So definitely, folks. Jay, we're gonna let you go, buddy. Go get that set up. Let us know when you're ready. I'll ramble on here for a few minutes while you guys get set up.
Good.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right, we'll do. I just want to say good luck to all the drivers out there. So.
Thank you,
Love
buddy,
you,
very
Dad.
much, and good luck tonight, guys.
Love you,
You guys
Dad.
do a great job. Thank you.
Say it back. Come on, Jade, you didn't say it back.
And while they're going on to do that and get that set up, as Mosi said, let's get some picks in.
That's exactly. That's what we were waiting on. So I guess I'll start. I'll start at this point. I don't know, guys. This whole road course at Indy being brand new. The drivers haven't. All they've done is practice. It changes when you start racing on it with other cars. I ran into that last night because I had a great car, but all it takes is
One mistake.
All it takes is a penalty. You get mixed up. You get bunched up. You try to not get into the person in front of you because it's tight because there was 15 cars last night, and you do that. Your car, as we were talking about, either shoots to the left or right under braking, and next thing you know, you're in the grass and you picked up a penalty.
And
It will blow your night out real quick, and you can't. And then that's it. You got to fight from there. Go ahead, buddy. So at this point, I don't know. I can't. I really don't know. There's been a lot of strong cars. There's been Dash that's been strong. There's been I'm actually kind of looking at right now. I'm actually kind of looking at one of the drivers from last night that's actually hot seating in the 51 for Fatal Motorsports, and that's my driver, and that's Clinton Goose US Truck Enterprises. He had a great car last night, so I'm looking to see. I'm actually going to pick him. Not about a favoritism, but just because I saw him drive last night that Xfinity car, and he had that thing dialed.
he had a great chance last night, but like I said, it came down to one mistake.
Yep.
And that's what's going to come down to is there's a little chicane before the backstretch, little short shoot, where you touch that grass, you get a time penalty. But yet, if you want to risk cutting that corner a little bit, you can get away with it. Sometimes it's just a matter of risk versus reward. And then there's the arcing turn back onto the track, and that corner you can get a lot of time penalties sometimes from just touching the grass there. So
it doesn't take much.
my pick tonight was looking. I was leaning towards a Geordie, but like the Geordie Tony rivalry, I feel like that might cost him if he does get a little bit too aggressive with his bumper, because he could force himself to overdrive a turn by giving Tony the bumper, and that's another big risk. I'm going to put my money on a guy that we did talk to today, and I'm going to put my money on the 53 car of Jade Bull.
Well, yeah. Awesome. That's a great pick. Definitely, though, he definitely has he has his stuff dialed in. So, Mercy, what's your pick, buddy?
As much as I want to go Jade, being my team owner, I think, like Stranded said, that Jardy and Tony are gonna, Jardy's gonna make mistakes trying to wreck Tony tonight, and Mr. Tony Flyers will pull out his first win of the season. I believe his first top 10 of the season. Tony's always been really fast here, won the last race here. I think he swept the week last time we were here. And Tony's just going to be Tony tonight, and Tony will lead about 50% of the race.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that all pans out. I hope that these guys, this is just fire that has been between these two. I hope that doesn't come to because now that he's made that statement there, unfortunately, that's why I said I'm an admin. I don't want to hear it, because of then I have to make decisions that require enforcing things that I don't really want. I hate enforcing anything like that with people, but rules are rules.
To be honest with you, as long as it doesn't get out of hand and it's not affecting other people and other people.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Let 'em have at it.
Oh, I agree. I'm going to let him rub, but as soon as it becomes to a point.
Yeah, it's a road course with a lot of tight corners. There's going to be rubbing from everyone. You just hope that they don't take it too far.
Right.
If they
All right,
leave
our
it
next pick. Oh, go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
if they leave it between them two, then hey, that's going to be a nice rivalry. But if it gets other people involved, then it turns into a big fight between three different teams. It's going to be something else.
And then of course, me being the vice president operations manager, then I have to do what I have to do to make sure that fire gets put out like it's supposed to.
And I mean, Jordy's a clean driver, and I think he's going to risk that because he's up there. I think he's the top 3 in points. He said that he was leading, so if that's the case, I haven't had a chance to check it, but I don't think he'd want to risk that.
All right, real quick, because I'm getting invites here. I'm not quite sure. If one of you guys could actually kind of be in Discord to find out exactly where we're at, that would be awesome.
I am.
Okay. Steve, what's your pick, buddy? We're waiting for you. You're the last one, and then we're going to be jumping into the qualifying.
I actually am going to take Jardy tonight.
Yep.
I don't think last night is going to play as heavily as everyone thinks. I don't know. Jardy's not that type of driver.
He may, and I look at it this way too, Stephen. I agree with that. For the fact
he's gonna start on a clean slate tonight and run his race.
Yeah, so, I agree. I mean, I believe that
we can.
Yeah, he's not gonna risk.
All right, guys.
We can
got the word. Is that correct? Did I hear that correct? Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to cut everybody off. I just want to make sure that we get over there and get into this qualifying so that you guys can see some of these guys as they're. You have main control acceptance, so yeah, you run the show, and we'll fill in where we're good at them.
And as we're loading into this qualifying, as you see, we have a Fantech, great spots for the series of the game. So they really love their TV time that they're getting right now. Their free TV time that they don't have to pay us.
They definitely got great equipment.
Yeah, it would be better equipment if they had to pay us, but damn. And here they go into turn 1, and right away the 3-car overdrives with the 53 is off the course from a bump, and now he is gonna be having a slow first lap, but it's not about the first lap, it's all about the second and the third. Your first lap will never be your fastest lap, and if it is, you pray it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's these guys. Oh, we definitely got some chaos there coming out of that chicane. I'm running with number 2 at that point.
Oh, the 12 car just overdrove it into the next cone.
It was like the 48 picked up a penalty. The 51s picked up, and I think that was all.
And the 12 just picked up one. He hit the grass.
Yeah. The
19, 1 car's in the grass.
12, the 1.
Massive pile up in the back.
Jardy is looking super smooth right now. I'm watching him.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars in the back that are getting together and just slowing down their laps.
I think that was the cause of that stack up.
Jody has a nice big gap where he can just take this lap as nice and calm as he needs to. He doesn't have to worry about other people hitting him. So here he comes.
Remember, folks, this is qualifying. This isn't the race. Yeah, these guys. They've done practice on here. They haven't been on with, I don't know how many people have gotten practice together. So, I mean, these guys are just getting accustomed to it. Sometime at this point, just like I would do.
Jody.
I would kind of stay to the back and just, whatever lap I got is whatever lap I get. Take it one position at a time.
You can hear it on the screen that Jardy is running a very low RPM type run here. That he's like hitting the rev limiter halfway down the front straightaway. And
you know what? And here, I'll give you a little hint on that. I was trying to focus on that last night because if I figured that, all right, even though if I change my gear ratios enough where I can get a better bite coming off the corner, I may give up a little bit on that overall top speed kind of deal, especially certain parts of this track. But I was looking for more of getting the bite coming off the corner, with the RPMs to get them up higher so that I can get a little bit better grip off that corner because sometimes I fix that issue.
Ooh, and Jody overdrove the tone going. But as I was about to say about Jody, his car seems very stiff compared to everybody else. Everybody else seems a little bit more on the wired side, while his car seems very stiff and stable, which that can also be a factor in overdriving corners, is you just don't have the toning in the car yet. which that's
Right.
something that you're going to get into the car during the race and as the runs go on. Ooh, and the
and I
one
noticed-
car is going to get into the back
God.
of the 88 in his final lap out of the final turn. That's going to slow down his lap too a little bit.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, as I said, they're still trying to figure this out. They're still trying to get, work this first road course. These guys, neither of us or neither series have been together on road courses before. So I guarantee what you're seeing right now is only just a kind of a new kind of deal. I bet when they get into racing, it's going to be a totally different scenario.
Tony put her in the grass.
Yeah, it seems like these cup cars, they have so much speed that they're overdriving the tone right at the end of the backstretch. Which
I was noticing that too, buddy. I definitely was noticing that.
In the Xfinity race, we didn't have as much of that,
No.
but these guys
Only
are
because
definitely getting.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, these guys are. As I was saying though, these guys feel like they're getting so much more. I know that a lot of the guys from last night are taking that tone a lot deeper than they can in a cup car, just based on the speed of the cup car to the Xfinity car.
Oh,
So-
I agree, acceptance, and that's what I was actually you actually kind of beat me to the punch, because I was just going to mention that you think about it, in our Xfinity cars when we drive those, it takes so much to keep the momentum of that car up that we have to try to drive the high line on a lot of tracks. Well, we just don't have the horsepower like the cup cars do, and because of that difference, I think that's why you're seeing they're not quite backing off soon enough because of the momentum of these cup cars. They're also heavier.
Yeah, and I feel like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that could be a big disadvantage for some of the guys that raced the Xfinity race last night, is early on, they're going to be trying to drive corners deeper than they can. But like I said, the biggest worry in these races is the second stage, because you have to set up yourself to be good in the final stage.
Agreed. Yeah, it's going to take. I'll back out a lobby here.
And on the poll is.
Yep.
Let's see what we got on the poll. We have U.S. Trek Enterprise with a 123.2, and then second is Jody, with third place being Jade.
There it is. That's my pick for the night, guys. I'm telling you, the driver of the 78 for the Xfinity Series for me wanted to take a hot seat. Well, Jade asked, I said, "Do you mind if I drive him?" I said, "No, I do not. Of course not. Why would I?" And he agreed to it. He wanted it. This is what he's at, and look at where it's sitting. He's sitting right on the pole. I mean, he had a great race. Just late incidents kind of ruined that for him. But I mean, both of my drivers, him and Zion Casey, who finished second last night. I mean, those guys were up front all day long, and I expect to see the same thing. If the 51 gets a breakaway and can get away clean, he's gone.
Yep. The driver tonight that can run a smooth, clean race and avoid them penalties is going to be your race winner. I'm a firm believer in that.
That's a great point.
I agree with that 100%.
And Joe posted tonight, he was running up in the top 3 all night last night, and he made a mistake.
Ready for this, folks?
He made a mistake in the final stage.
Here's a little thing. He was actually picked up for penalty in that course tonight, just now in qualifying, and he was in the back of the field, and look what he still ran.
Right.
So wait till he's up front. All right, so now, folks, we're just waiting on just real quick call her out. While we're waiting for this race to get started and everything else. Thank you to Steve Rogers Racing Engines, for sponsoring this series and be part of this league. I also want to give a shout out to a few of my sponsors that are affiliated with me and also affiliated with this league, such as Rich Mark Forrest, Jonathan Morrissey.
We can join.
Tia Ellie Salon U, Rossdale, Roscoe's Detailing, T&D Concessions, A1 Firewood. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate all that you do for all being part of this and just enjoying what's going on.
And as I'm loading in, the rest of you guys can as well.
I am. Thank you very much. That's what I was working on. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you very much, Acceptance, for joining me in the booth. Obviously, I've had some issues. I got stung in the eye by a bee, so my sight is not. It's a mess. Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah, I have. Yeah. So thanks for Mercy and Acceptance for joining me here tonight and helping me with this.
Okay, and here we go. Coming off the final tone, getting ready to go green. We are gonna look at it from this camera, and they have took the green flag and going into tone 1. It looks like everybody in the back starting to break a little bit early. Front 2 are gonna break a little bit deeper in the corner. 95 gets a course penalty right away. It looks like nobody drives off the course in tone 1 besides for the 95. And your leader actually right now is gonna be the 39 car of Jordy.
And then you got the 51 US Trek behind that, and then the 53 of Jade Burr. He's running behind. He's looking in the 3rd spot. He's just settling in.
He's gonna be in the 4th spot actually behind the 12 with Bogey.
He just there we go. The
95 with damage. 88, 321.
The 48. He looks like he collected up something.
Ooh, and the 12 car tried to self clear and got himself put into the grass by the 53 car.
I was like, there's a little bit of touch there
There's some
between
big
12
contact.
and 53. Yeah, see, as I said, we were talking about this before, folks, that this track is tight, and it's not so easy to be around, you know, when you're doing side-by-side. Those two are actually going to exchange spots, but right now we're sitting up in front. We're looking at 39 of Jardy, the 51 of US Trek. Then behind that, we got the battle for 3rd and 4th, which is the 12 and the 53.
Yeah, that's a course penalty.
And see, that's what I was talking about, guys. That was nothing more than just hard racing, and then.
Ooh, and the 51's gonna get out of the last turn a bit too hard. He's gonna hit the wall. Not gonna slow him down too much, but he definitely did lose some more time.
Oh, the 48, he's having troubles. He's in the backside of the field. Wow, guys, this is not quite how. I mean, as I said, this is what when you get side by side trying to go through that chicane, it may not be a great idea because it's a risk to reward kind of deal. Either you make it or you get that penalty.
A lot of these guys too didn't get a lot of practice, so this 4th stage is going to have to be for them that it's going to be that learning process of they have to learn the track and learn their breaking points and hope that they can set themselves up in stage 2 to get a good stage 3.
Here's something really great. I was just watching the 53 just now. He was able to get into that chicane, hit that just right over the turtles, not pick up the course penalty, and drive right through it. Now, if somebody else tried that at another time. It may not be. It may be now, maybe later, or whatever.
The big thing about that chicane is you can really. There's like a bit of a gap between the curb in that where you have about a car length. If you don't want to hit that curb, you can miss it a little bit. But if you go any farther than that curb, it's going to mess up your lap, and it's going to give you the course penalty. But if you stay where you barely touch it or just a little bit off of it, it will let you go.
Jardy swung it around out a little wide there. Almost got a course penalty there.
I'm actually, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much, but it looks like now
Ooh, the 53 is going to get in a little bit hot.
Oh, looks like the 39. He's going to come around. He's going to be able to save it. The 51, he takes over the lead.
Looks like the 53 to his outside.
He's trying. Yep, he's trying to take that
some
spot.
contact.
There's a little bit of contact, but now they
Nice
get it
little
all gathered up.
crossover. He just can't get into the. He just can't get into the throttle as good as some of these guys. It looks like right now.
Yeah, it looks like the top 3 right now. The 51 of US Trek. You got the 39 of Jardy. Then you got the 53 of Jade Bird. Them 3. You got 2 teammates and a man in the middle.
51.
He got a little bit hot in there. I saw that while I was watching that.
Ooh, that was close. Oh, the 39. That's a course penalty for the 39.
Yep. And that's what's going to kill it right there. And now it looks like the 53 and the 51. Now they're going to skate away from the 3rd place position.
And the 3rd place car is going to be the 19 Ahatsi driver in Lawson, I believe.
Yes, it is. That is correct. That was my co-host from first part of the season was Larson. Looks like the 3 car's going to get off the track. He's having issues. Wow, these guys, the 20 of Alville, he's having issues.
And one thing about road courses is the 39 car only dropped back to 5th. From getting that course penalty and having to wait as long as he did, it only lost him 2 spots on the track?
Yep, correct. 3 spots on the track. He was running 1st, now he's 5th.
Yeah, but the 4th one was from the mistake in turn 1 that he made, and he lost 2 spots there, so...
Right, I agree. It was a great recovery on that, that's for sure.
And we'll see what he's got, because... Yeah, he's got to settle down and just try to take the... He's got to take the 2 guys that he has right here, the 1 and the 19, just one at a time. It isn't.
Ooh,
It
we
isn't.
got someone in the dirt.
It was
Sorry,
the one.
sorry,
That
buddy.
was the. That was the one call of Keith, who just he went wide through. He went a little bit wide, trying not to get the course penalty, missed the grass, and then almost went all the way back into the outside wall, and was lucky to not get a course penalty out of that chicane.
And I'm watching the 2 leaders right now, the 51 and the 53, and the 53 is definitely starting to close down on that 51 a little bit.
Oh, Jade sent it in.
Yeah, he definitely, but he made it stick though. His car must be starting to come in. He's peeking on the inside of that. But remember, these two are teammates, and they are both the same, team. So, do you, one's a hot seat driver and one isn't. What do you do? Are you out there to make the run for the win, or are you going to let the boss man kind of, slide by?
Boz, something wrong with Boz early.
Yeah, I noticed that
Looks
too.
like looks like he had an engine issue, and the car just couldn't make it the rest of the way.
Yeah, he's actually parked backwards in the pit.
No, they pit back up here, remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
So-
right. See, thanks.
One
Merce.
thing to think about too, guys, is as we were watching those top three, the 51, the 53, and the 39, it seemed like the 39 was a lot more smooth and just smart and artistic about the way he drove it. The 51's car seemed like he could dive in there a lot deeper and make it stick, and the 53 seemed to be going very safe, and now he seems to be having the same mindset of the 51 where their cars can just stick when they drive it in as deep as they do.
Yeah, these guys, they know that there's no pressure right now, so what we really got to do is really just maintain their intervals, run their lines. This is gonna. I mean, stage. It's not. It's about right at this point. I'm looking at Jade's, team, this and that. Will he try to make a push for the 10, for the bonus points and this and that if possible? What is going to really happen? But remember, these two are that's a 1-2 right there for Fatal Motorsports and Jade Burr with the hot seat driver on the 51. So we'll see what he really going to do.
And another thing to think about here is the 51 car lost the lead in that full street start to the car on his inside, the second place starter. Could he possibly just let his teammate, who is his team owner and racing for points in the series right now, just give him the stage win and then just hope that he has a good pit stop?
See, the thing
No,
about
I'm gonna say the driver of the 51 because I know him very well. He won't slide over for anybody, whether you're a teammate or not. I mean, if you get it, you deserve it. He'll race you clean, but he's gonna make you work for it. He's just not gonna give it to you because he's also out for the same thing that he's also out for the same thing. If you make the position and you have the position, he will gladly let you have it and not but he's not gonna let you just have it. That's for sure.
One thing to think about too is the 53 on that.
You're going to have to earn it.
Yeah. One thing to think about that we just seen is the 53 car on that when you turn off of that backstretch short shoot, and even this corner right here that we're looking at, is he's getting in there a lot deeper, but he's not getting as good of a drive because of how deep he's getting. And I feel like that's the difference between these two right now. Is the 51 is going for drive off. The 53 though is going for drive in.
Yeah, and that's where we kind of discussed that on our pre-race. We were talking about where I was kind of trying to figure out. Okay, listen, do I want to give up that even though the front stretch is a long front stretch, or going into that corner on turn 1, I believe that's what it is. Is that what do I want after that? Do I want to be able to go in harder, or do I want to be able to come off harder? And I believe that the 51, they're definitely two different scenarios, but the same outcome is actually happening. Is that they've got themselves hooked up where they can get the drive off is hurting Jade a little bit, but the drive in is hurt helping, but the drive off is hurting, and same with the 51.
This should be interesting to see. He's gonna get
He's
under
gonna try
him.
to make the move right here. Oh, he went way deep. Is he gonna hold it? The 50. Yeah.
He's gonna get a course penalty.
He's gonna get a course penalty. He was trying, and he just did not work.
He's only gonna drop back to second though, where he was. Now he's just gonna be in a title battle with the 19, the 1, and it looks like the 39 car is starting to catch back up to that battle too.
And that's what we talked about that at pre-race, guys. He said, "Oh, I never got a course penalty. I've never got a course penalty." Was what did you just have to you just shot?
Oh, and he just overdrives that turn, and so does the 19.
Yeah. He just shot himself in the foot. You should never ever say
and he gets
like
another
that.
one.
Yeah. Oh.
This is a point in this race where the 53 is hoping for that stage break where he can just catch a breath, and get himself back in the groove.
And he's going to hit the pits right now, and that's a smart move, guys. That is a smart move. You are struggling a little bit. Probably these tires are starting to get warm. They're starting to get down on their runs on the stage. If you're already having that issue and you're already
19 overshots, that's going to be a course penalty for the 19.
That is a big course penalty for the 19, and the one's looking on the 39 is Jardy now, and Jardy will move up into second.
Jardy made a great move on that front stretch to get under the one, and the one he just doesn't have the car to get himself from the outside in like that. And that's
that course penalty killed him, and that's what it was, exactly what it was, and a little bit of some of these corners, not quite set up. The car's not quite there for him right yet, but it looks like he's got himself settled down now.
And there's a lot of stuff we're seeing right now that we've seen in the Xfinity race go a lot better, like the outside move by the one is. So a lot of cars last night were not using the outside, but there was a few cars there was a car or two that made it work. And that's one thing that I think was a good experience for the one car to get is, can I make the outside work there and still maintain my spot? Yeah. Right. For his case, it wasn't, but it's always nice to experiment a little bit in the full stage too.
And
I agree.
You can never ever leave Keith out. One of the reasons we are running these custom setups is because of Keith 2 years ago at Sonoma, where the talks actually started about the custom setups. Keith was smoking everybody, and we needed something to stop him. So,
well, look, I mean, he may have his hands full with that 51 though before this night's over. That's for sure. Because he's starting to, he's ready. He's got this thing dialed in, and I knew it too, and because about what I saw last night and this and that, and I know he's been waiting for this for like 2 weeks.
And as
to jump in this car.
And as I sit here and listen to the drivers talk, and it seems like most of them are going to be making the pit stop for the stage right here on this lap. So let's start with up front. We know the 39 on the one car's pitting, the 88 is in.
The 19's in of Larson.
The 19's in. Is the 51 going to come in this time too? With the two cars behind him are coming in, but will he come in?
Well, with the distance that he's got, I would say he's going to come in probably this lap or the next and take his two tires, probably a can and a half of fuel, and be out the door. There comes a 20. There he's coming down pit road.
39 with a course penalty.
Jardy with a big course penalty. I will cover Jardy as he goes down pit road.
Yeah.
51's pitting.
So Jardy, will he come in this time with the course penalty? Yes, he will.
I'm gonna actually ride down with him. I'm gonna ride down with 51. I don't know if they'll actually show me what they're gonna do, but I'm gonna say, as I said, I think it's gonna be
it's gonna be full tires. Full tires, probably.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen him run it last night.
One thing we've noticed about tire wear is, at least in the Xfinity race last night, the left front was getting killed. So if that's the same with these Cup cars, which are looser and do take up more tire quicker, is that could be a serious issue as the left front tires.
It's possible, and I think you're right because he's sitting a little bit long on pit road, so I'm thinking it's going to be 4 tires.
Jardy as well with a 4-tire stop.
Okay, that's 4 tires to the 51, and he's off. He's gonna have a nice little gap to the one car. One thing about this pit road too is you cannot sit there and ride the access road. And as we just seen, actually,
53, he went way in trying to get past the one. He made it work. The one gave him a little bit of room though. Wow. He came out of nowhere. He had that foot break in the carburetor on that one.
And that's another issue with this track is you cannot use that access road all the way around it. You get a course penalty for it, which it sucks. But
oh no, yeah, you're right. And here you can't. And then the other thing that I hate acceptance is, remember last night they didn't post no pit road speed.
Yeah, that's another thing. But I think that's in the 19 just
into the one. Moved him right out of the way. He went real deep into that. That might be a little bit of a kind of. Oh, and the one he's off a little bit. Luckily, he didn't pick up a penalty for that.
One thing.
Did Jade's strategy work out?
One thing we're gonna look at tonight, though, is there's gonna be lots of contact and lots of rivalries.
I agree.
Jade went wide. Sorry, Jade went wide.
Yeah, no, go ahead, buddy. Fill it in. 39. Whoa, that's dangerous right there. Trying to. I was watching this.
Oh, and the 39 got loose, and the 53 just had nowhere to go. It's gonna put him in the inside wall.
But I was watching that drive right there. I mean, he cut the whole that triangle that sits there. You know, that little triangle that we see before we get onto that stretch. He cut that off like 3/4 and did not give him a penalty.
Oh, in the 19 and the 1 going at it.
19's gonna pass the 1 back. One thing to look at here too is the 53 pitted a lot earlier. He pitted a couple laps earlier than these guys did. So how much does tire wear?
Sorry, buddy. The 21. He's got a course penalty.
Yeah. But
sorry about that. I mean,
we're
cut
gonna
you off like that.
We're gonna go back and we're gonna watch the 53 right here, because this could be very interesting to see how much his tire wear does play a factor at this track. Can he keep this gap, but also with the worst tires?
Well, I do know that last night, I don't know how it's going to play out in the Cup Series, but I do know last night that on that first stage, I was able to just take 1.5 cans of fuel, and I was able to make it the whole way at the end of that stage, end of stage 1 on fuel, on no tires.
Speaking from my experience in that race, and the 19 almost hit the safety barrier on the exit of the final turn. But one thing from my experience last night was you could take that 1.5 cans, but it doesn't change your pit stop because the crew just takes so long to get 4 tires on here because it is the opposite of what a normal track is. Right. So they have to. It's going to be a little bit slower than what you would get at a normal track.
Agreed.
So might as well just go ahead and take the full amount.
Yeah. Which kind of probably bit me last night, but that's all right. But it looks like Jardy's starting to pull a little bit of distance. I'm actually right along with 53 right now. I believe he's in the 3rd spot. You got the 51 leading this. You got the 39 of Jardy, and then you have the 53 of Jade Burr. I'm trying to get through the rundown and see where everybody else is. 21 looks like he picked up an L penalty.
20 calls a lap down. He's just getting out of the way and just taking the course penalty if he needs it to get out of the way of these guys, which is very nice of him to do.
Yeah, I mean, I did that last night too, buddy, and that was the best thing I could do. Was I was already stuck. I was already in trouble. Why get involved? I'll take the course penalty. Why get involved and mess someone else's race up if it's already like that? It's just too late to do anything about it.
So and it's getting intense here at the front. According to the driver's radio, it seems according to the 51 that the 39's gained 2 seconds on him just in 1 lap.
That's possible, but is there enough time?
And he just ran a 122 full.
Well, I mean, does he have enough time to catch the one? Looks like he's definitely closing down on him. But is that 51 in conservative mode at this point? You know what I mean? I don't know what the stages are broke up. Do you have to pit 2 times in this stage?
Okay. They have 4 to go.
That's not going to help Jardy any. He just kind of went off track a little bit there. That's going to slow him down. Let that 51 get some more room. But I don't know. I don't think there's enough time for him to catch him. I think it's going to come down to what happens here, how the pit strategy went off. Who's going to make the mistake.
And we saw it earlier with Jade. Going back to he makes some mistakes.
Whoa, Jardy is just flying through these S's right here.
Flying through this middle part right here. Anyways, with Jade and the mistake part, we saw Jade was catching the 39. He was pretty much catching the 51 as well. And both of them made mistakes, and that put the 39 and the 51 all the way back.
And the 24 car had to take it wise. It is going to slow down the 51 a little bit.
Yeah, and now the 39. Now the 39 is going to deal with that 24 car too, and how is that
it's all
turn
about
out?
Where you catch them, and it looks like if the 24 does this the right way, it looks like he's gonna get to the bottom and just break.
He's going to give way to the 39 to let him go by. Yep, there we go. That's what we're talking about right there. Is that the drivers know.
Oh, Jardy got hot, but he made it stick perfectly.
Yep.
And with 3 to go, this might come down to be something.
That 51 down.
Gains a little bit right here compared to last lap.
Did the 12 car pass the 53? Is he a lap down? That's an interest.
The 12 car had a course penalty last lap.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. See those course penalties, just like we ran into last night. There, you gotta run it clean.
Oh wait, that was the 24 I was looking at. I just couldn't tell from how far away we were.
But he's definitely looks. I'm running around with Jardy right now, and he's
Jardy
right
is just
pushing.
he's so
trying to
good
catch
through
that
this
51.
S.
And that and the 51. Remember, he's a hot seat driving 30, and Jardy is not.
He is the points leader, I believe.
Yeah, he is your points leader. So I mean, I can see how much he would really want this.
Get that extra playoff
Imagine
point.
what kind of ego boost would that be? Oh, he went really wide.
That's not going to be a course penalty, though.
Should be good.
The course
Nope,
penalty
but it
comes
will
in
hurt
from
him,
this
though,
corner. Looks like he actually gained time from doing that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I'm watching that. I'm watching this battle now, folks.
And
Now,
2 to go.
watch
Jardy
him
gets
try-
wide and
Oh!
taps the outside
the
safety
wall.
barrier.
That's gonna slow it down.
2 to
That
go.
would pretty much call it right there. If
Yeah.
51 can keep it on track, that will be.
And he's run a clean race, guys. He's
With
I mean,
2 to go, though.
We're flipping through the field, guys, right now. Finding out. Looks like definitely the 53 though. Watch out behind. We haven't been kind of seeing him in the back side of this, but he's starting to catch up on that 39 now.
And that's on worn tires, too, so that's very impressive from the 53 car.
Did Jardy overdrive it a little bit?
Looks like he underdrove it, actually.
Yeah, he underdrove it, and so he was able to cut that chicane and try to get that extra. As you
What
said,
a drive by the 39 car right now, though.
Yeah, he had that thing hooked.
This
in
is
there.
his
He's
best
definitely making a
chance. He
push.
is hooked right here. He gets to get it a little bit loose.
Oh, he got off.
He got a little
He's
bit
not going to
squiggly
get a
there,
course
little bit
penalty, though.
Loose.
No, he saved it that way only because of the fact, I think, because he was the way he went into that being squiggly and loose. You know, he saved him. Now he's got to regroup and try to make this run for this last lap coming up.
Jardy's overdrove the car a little bit to push a little more. I believe that's why Jade will catch him.
And actually, yeah, we're gonna flip back. We're actually as the 51.
Wide.
Let's see if I can get back to it. Looks
39
like all we
just
have
needs
is
to. Oh,
just an update. Update, folks. Update, folks. Oh yeah, he's spinning around. He's just before pit road exit entrance. We got one car coming down pit
White
road.
flag.
Oh, that's gonna kill his whole
Keith.
chance right there.
Keith goes down pit road. Wow.
That's definitely I'm pretty sure
the
that might be
only
a penalty.
the only call with a chance now after Jardy's mistake is going to be the 53. But the 53 is so far back.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about road course racing is I was never
Yeah.
the best at road courses, but I really learned to just take everything one turn at a time. And you gotta just, if you make a mistake, you gotta just relax and get back in your groove. And
At this point,
39
being
just
where
couldn't do
is,
it.
Being at this point where we are at the race in this final part of the stage, you know, the 53, I'm almost willing to, depends on where the third place car behind me is, I'm almost willing to stop backing down a little bit, just to, you know, just to breathe a little bit.
Just take
and
the
get a little
second
bit-
place finish?
Yeah, and just focus, you know what I mean?
Oh, he
because
just,
you're not
yeah.
going to catch him, because here we're getting close to...
Oh, I mean, he just hit the wall, though.
Now we just get the next, few corners, and then the stage is over. So, I'm willing to just.
Actually, this race did not have a stage. It was not a stage race. It was just a
It is
straight up
not.
25. It was straight up 25%. So here we come. Here we come to the
Oh.
checkered. The 51 car of U.S. Track Enterprise is gonna win. The 53 is gonna be second, and it looks like I believe the 39 still is gonna finish third.
Wow, guys. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, because I forgot that the format is changed for tonight. I apologize for that, everybody. That was my fault. Wow. Yeah, okay. I'm calling this like it's a 3-stage race like last night.
And
was-
yes,
was.
Jardy is still gonna finish third.
We
Nice.
still got one more race to go, and that was amazing right there.
And that's going to be the Indy Oval, which is a race I really wish I could be involved in, actually, but
Yeah.
I know, so do I. But, I mean, if we can real quick, guys, before we jump off, so these guys get like a few minutes break, this and that, if we can call in the top 3 drivers real quick, if somebody can hook them up with the invites, send them into the booth for us.
Yeah, I'd also like to talk about the Indy Oval real fast.
Yes,
About
please
turn
do.
one.
Yeah, we'll cover that too, because I imagine we're going to have another pre-race besides that right after this.
Turn
I
one,
think,
man.
I believe we're just doing a 10-minute thing, but we can do it during qualifying,
I don't
definitely.
think we're doing another
Yeah,
race.
exactly.
But turn one, man, you go into one, and you don't have to let off first turn. People are going to be taking those chances, especially with the long straightaway going into one. And you barely have to lift going into two. We saw it last year in the Xfinity Series. I actually got wrecked by a train in the lead.
Do one of you mind inviting these 3 guys into the,
I got it.
Yep.
I don't have Trek though. That's the only one.
I do. I can take care of that in 1 sec.
Need.
Yeah, well, so folks, obviously now that sorry about that, I was kind of late on the uptake on this. I forgot that this is a double race. 25% for the road course for Indy, and then the guys gonna get a 10-minute break, and then they'll be jumping into the Indy Roval. First, we're gonna actually pull the first 3 winners, first top 3 here into the booth, and talk to them real quick before we let them go and do what they gotta do.
Let's see as we're luring back out. Let's see who had the fastest lap of the race, if we can before everybody leaves. It is gonna be Keith with the second fast lap, and that's gonna be Jolly with the fourth fastest. So 1:22.469. So very impressive there with that. And as one of them just joined, it seems like
me feel a lot better.
That you had the fastest lap.
No, that was.
All right, let me get one more person here. We'll get the winner. Then who else are we missing?
Jade,
And I have... Yeah, okay, he's in here already. Do we have everybody yet?
Yep, everybody's here.
Nice. Well, folks, here it is. The 25% Indy Roval. We saw a lot of action, and we talked about this in the pre-race about you know, those cautions and what it can do to you. But yeah, real quick, because we are on a doubleheader tonight, we're going to talk to the top 3 drivers of this race tonight. And first, we're going to start with Jardy. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Could be better.
Oh, I hear you, buddy. I mean, you great job. I mean, as I said, you know, this wasn't easy. We knew that the course was going to throw some real headaches at you. We knew what the outcome is, but in general, man, you did a great job. You know, tell us a little bit, you know, about some of the things that happened to you during this race.
Well, that first penalty, there's a track spike after that long back stretch, and I hit that going into the corner after the back stretch. Car got loose, spun out, dipped the wheel off the track, and it gave me a penalty. Allowed Goose and Jade to get around, and then I was running really good lap times. Towards the end of the race after the pit stop, that's where I hit the minute 22, and you know, I was catching him there with coming to 1 to go, and again the car got loose in the second to last corner and spun out, and it gave me a penalty.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, that's unfortunate, buddy. I mean, you had a great car. You look like you were definitely one of the top 3. You know, questions where it was going to end up without all that other chaos from the track and this and that. Because some of those penalties you probably shouldn't have been given, from what I saw. You know, I mean, all it took was just a little oops or whatever, and you picked them up, and that's kind of. I mean, we dealt with that too last night. But you know, great job, man. Congratulations on your podium, points leader at this point, I believe. Correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, you still maintain quite a bit of points. You still got stage points. You still got all those things. I mean, and you're still making that march towards that championship. And we were definitely 3 weeks away from playoffs. So, you know, keep pushing forward, buddy. Great job, and thank you very much. Now, folks, we will touch on the second place winner, Jade Burr, the driver of the 53, Richmar Forest. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I threw it away. I threw it away.
What did I tell you in pre-race when you said, "Oh, I never got a penalty"? You shot yourself right in the foot, didn't you?
What happened? No, it's nothing Goose did, and I decided it was better not to wreck my teammate for the night, and maybe a future teammate down the road. I caught him, and I just sniffed his draft. And that screwed up my braking point. So I downshifted 1, downshifted 2, and it pulled to the left, and I'm like, I'm gonna take him out. So I gotta cut this as tight as I can possibly cut it, try not to get a penalty, and I risked it one too many times for the biscuit. So, and, you know, it happened, and I did it again because I was already out of my mojo, and I decided just to come down pit road and clean slate, come back out. and the car was fast. It was fast. It came off fast again. We were rolling. We caught up to Jardy. We were gonna try to pass Jardy, and he got loose. I ran in the back of him, had front end damage. Car wouldn't turn, so we were just fighting the car the whole night after that. And we were running Goose down, but didn't have enough time. I said the last lap I could smell him. That's how close I felt to him. I could smell him. And if I maybe had another 2 laps, I think it would have been real interesting down to the end. But
I think so too, buddy, because he had a rocket ship.
Yep. Shout out to James Morris yet again, helping me out with this setup, dude. I appreciate it, and I can't wait for when the Glen and Sonoma come around and I get to try to do this again. Goose,
And those are both playoff races.
hell of a job, man. I'm proud of you. I can be mad about my night all I want, but hey, there's still a fatal car in victory lane, so that's all I care about.
So, folks, with that, after that one, that was Jade Bird, driver of the 53 for Richmond.
Actually, real quick before we go away from Jade, I have a quick question for him.
Did
you feel a big difference? Did you feel a big difference on your tire wear? Because you did pit a lot sooner, and that was one thing I was thinking about is how were the tires going to react when you were out that much longer on the second set that you were on?
My setup was geared towards the late run, because when James and I were sitting down talking about how we were going to build my setup, the thing that I brought up is that our league doesn't have very many cautions.
Mm-hmm.
That's something, and he goes, okay, that's going to matter, because now he can build me a late run setup. I set my fastest laps later in my run. Those last 2-3 laps of the race, they were probably my fastest laps of the night. So I love late run, I love worn tires, and I wish I could restart this race knowing that all I know now. But like I said, I am happy a fatal car's in victory lane. I couldn't be more happy with a fatal one too. So I got no complaints, in all honesty.
No, I bet not, buddy. I mean, it's tough to get that. Believe me, I've been there before. I'm there myself, But, congratulations on your second place finish, buddy. You did a great job. That's going to definitely help you out in the point stands. It's definitely going to help out the team in the point stands.
One day I'll get my thank you for setting up with a great team. One day.
Yeah, you'll be.
You're not going to get it.
You done a great job. So now,
Okay.
folks, here we are. Hot seat driver. Xfinity, one of the fastest drivers from last night's Xfinity race. Fortunately, the position doesn't show where he should have finished. Driving for Fatal Motorsports for this evening is U.S. Trek Enterprise, Clinton Goose. Hey, buddy, how you doing, man? Congratulations, man. I am so proud of you, my friend. Definitely, you have killed it.
Wow, I don't even need to say anything, Mike. Thanks. No, let me first and foremost, what class some of these drivers have. Three of them, maybe 4 of them. Not sure about that last one. He might have just got loose and went off. But they were pulling over, letting me go, knowing that I was somewhat faster. Thank you, each and every one of you. I wish I could name you, but I'm not that familiar.
One of them is going to be the 24 crew. I don't know who that was. The 20, I believe, is Alvin. Alvin with like 3 eyes at the end or something. Bogey.
The 12 is Braden. Braden Bergloff.
The only one I don't know is the 24.
The 20 was Allensville. The 24 was Matt Martin.
Yeah.
And the 88 was Damon.
Great respect right there. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to watch the stream. I'm going to take notes. And a future race, I'm going to make sure that I pay that back. Thank you guys very much. I want to say that I was playing mind games with people. but I'm not going to say that because that's like a dick thing to say. Oh, can I say that on here?
No, you said it now. It's already kind of late, buddy.
You said it now, so either way you're getting your fine. That's $5. That's $5 to the swear jar.
My strat for this race was do not get a penalty at all costs, especially if you got a little lead. So once I got that little lead, I was like, okay, just chill, you know, break it down to about 125 laps and let them catch up. Because I know that once they smell me and I took a shower, that
So you smelled like apple spice.
I did. They'll get excited, and that's more of a chance that they'll make a mistake, and I'll just keep driving on. However, Jordy made up like 3 seconds on. Was it Jordy?
Jardy. Yeah, he made up some serious time.
He made up like 3 seconds on one lap. I'm like, okay, stop bullshitting around. You got to go. Because this guy is not playing. But thank you. I appreciate the hot seat. Initially, I wasn't going to do any hot seats. I was just going to chill, but I just couldn't help myself because I love road courses. Period. I just love road courses.
Speaking like a true artist.
Well, I don't know about a ringer because last night.
Not a ringer, but we went through last night. It was tough for all of us. But
we're not even talking about last night, Mike.
I know. I know. But that's okay. No, listen. I mean, in general, buddy, great job, great filling it, jumping in for Fatal Motorsports. When you asked about that, and I contacted Jade, I felt really good about it. I knew that this is something that was in your wheelhouse, and I knew that you would do a great job. And you've done nothing more than not only just on the Xfinity side, but on this Cup side, just in your debut tonight. You did a great job, my friend, and I congratulate you, and I appreciate everything that you do. That is for sure.
Thank you, Jade, for the opportunity. I appreciate it, bud.
Hey, man, listen, when Mike first came over here, him and I talked about, what we can do, what him and I can do to make this better, and something that, his big stipulation was that my team and his team teamed up. And the way that it's kind of going, it's nice because I have you and Casey down there in the bush, and you guys watching. You guys, sometimes we talk. You guys say a few things that clues me in, and I then clue in my Cup guys about it, and it's like we're one big organization, and I love it.
I enjoy, like, if I see somebody struck out ugly, I'll say, hey man, let me walk you around what I do. I mean, it might help.
I'm a prime example, buddy.
And
that's for sure.
That's seeing somebody do well after I've said, "Hey, try this or that," is better than winning a race.
Man after my own heart, right there. He just follows the same thing that I do. Sometimes that as much as hard as we work here, everybody, and do what we do, our major excitement and happiness comes from watching the drivers and all the sponsors and everybody else to enjoy what this league is presenting, and that is presenting great racing, great friendship, great family. Sometimes things get a little heated, this and that, which is like any other family gets heated, has situations like that. But in general, it comes right down to it that it's squared away, done, this and that, blah blah blah, and we move on to the next race. So with that note, with that note, folks, this is a double header. You're gonna love the next one because we're actually headed for the Indy Roval for the Brickyard.
Oval.
Huh?
Yeah, you said Roval.
Did I say Roval? Oh, I'm sorry. Oval Roval is just in not in an egg shape. That's all. Guys, great job. I'll let these guys go. They're going to get a 10-minute break. We're going to come, me and Acceptance.
The 10-minute break is almost over.
Oh, sorry, guys. Well, or whatever. 10-minute break from when we leave here. Acceptance. I hope you guys are in Mercy, and Steve, I hope you guys will join me for that. Steve, thank you very much for being with us tonight. We appreciate always all that you do for this league and everything here. We appreciate everybody that's affiliated with this league. And at this point, guys, Acceptance, it's on you, buddy, to sign us out.
This is Acceptance. Signing you out.
Thank you. See,
I didn't even know you called me the wrong name.
Well, that's okay.
This is Acceptance. Signing you out from the Indy Roval with your winner Goose, a U.S. Trek Enterprise. Have a good one, and we'll see you at the Indy Oval. And